And welcome back here with Mary Flavelle here, Mid-Morning Matters at Marlow FM. Lovely to have your company this morning. It's now exactly 7 minutes, coming up to 8 minutes after 10 o'clock. And my guest with me this morning, singer-songwriter, produced her first album, and this is Lucina Pearson. Hello, which mic are you on, darling? Yellow. Should have checked that first. Hello, good morning.
Hello, morning.
Good morning. Lovely to have you here. And thanks for coming in so early this morning as well too. Not very nice weather for travelling in.
No, it wasn't very nice.
Okay. Now, you have got, you've produced your first album, well, presumably not on your own, with somebody else.
Yeah.
How did you, like you could, it's lovely. There's a lot of people listening that, people think that there's a book in them and how do you start writing? But singing's been part of your life for a long time, hasn't it?
It has been, yes. I started singing or performing when I was 17. And I was doing open mic nights and anything I could, really.
That's a lot. That's brave to have to do open mic nights, isn't it? You just turn up and it's sort of the mic's open. You go. It's a bit like an organised karaoke night, isn't it? Really?
A bit, I guess so. But
yeah.
Because the rest of the room are drinking, I guess takes the pressure off a bit.
Well, I can understand. Yeah, well, maybe they'll turn around and look at you. You have to. I think it takes a lot of courage to get up there and go for open mic.
It does. It took me a long time to get used to it, but you do after a while. It's the same with anywhere when you're performing anywhere. It's a case of getting used to it and doing it more and more. Sure,
of course. And so you were spotted at one of these nights, were you?
Not a normal open mic night. It's a UK competition.
Oh gosh, there was a serious stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, you actually at the competition, right? Okay.
It was Open Mic UK.
Right.
It's a singing competition, and I got through to the regional finals, and then got spotted there by a talent scout who worked for a company in London, an artist development company, and so I went in for a meeting with them and got signed to their program for a year. That is brilliant. You must have been blown away by that. I was very, very surprised and very happy, yeah.
You've got a little accent in there as well, too. You're not from here, are you?
I am English. I have a South African boyfriend who I live with, so that's where the accent comes
from. He's got far too much influence over you, let me tell you, young lady. I can just hear a little Littleton there as well.
It shows up every now and then, yeah.
Well, do you know what? The best thing I think we can do is we all sit here in judgment and we'll actually play one of your songs and to hear how you sound, and then we can chat about the song and a little bit more about how your career went, yeah? Okay, I'm going to have a go. Please, God, let this work. Please let this work. Oh, it is.
With your good looks and your charm, wrap me around your finger. You'd say jump, I'd say how far. If only I'd known from the start who you really were, things would have gone so differently and not ended up in hurt. I guess you're nothing like I thought. You tell me open-heartedly I'm not good enough for you. So let me tell you something that's not good enough for me. Not good enough for me. You treat me, you love me, then leave me. The way you deceive me to think I believe that you'll get what is coming. There's no use in running, just wait and see. Who really knows where you've really been before? To think that you just used me to add a number to your score. You made it very clear
Oh, that's a lovely, lovely sound.
Thank you very
Lucina.
much.
Well done. You've got a lovely clarity in your voice whenever you're singing.
Thank you.
So the music's all you as well?
Sorry?
Is the music you as well?
Yeah, I mean, it took me a while to find my style of songwriting. I hadn't really done any songwriting before I worked with this company. They introduced me to it. And I worked with different producers, and it takes a while to find someone who has the same taste in music, produces the style that you want, really.
Yeah.
And with the album I found the right producer.
Fantastic. How do you go about starting to write music? You know, like you obviously have to know about music in the first place, don't you?
Yeah, it helps, yeah.
Well, it certainly would help, because there's a lot of people I know can't read music and have had built up great careers. They've never learned formally how to play like a guitar, but, they just do it through instinct and what they find out themselves, self-taught.
That's almost better, I would say. I learned piano from a young age, and I did up to grade 3 exams. But after that, I taught myself. So I only learned the pieces I wanted to learn, and I got into the habit of listening to a song and picking up the chords and picking it up that way rather than reading sheet music. So it worked out better for me when it came to writing songs, because I was already good at picking out tunes. And
what do you do first whenever you're doing a song? Do you find the tune first, or do you get the words first?
Mainly the tune. I'd find
right.
a piano riff or something that I thought was good, and it would go from there, really, and then I'd work on the lyrics afterwards.
I did piano as well too whenever I was little, and I used to sit there and strum away, I suppose like most people do, because you just sort of then play without having to read music, just sort of find your way along keys. And if you suddenly play something that is you think, oh, that was a nice tune, it's remembering what you've just done, isn't it? It's so easy to lose it and think, oh, what did I play there? Because you can just sort of tinker.
Yeah, I have a lot of recordings on a dictaphone and even on a cassette tape. That's how long ago I was doing them.
Oh, that's
the
way
to do it. I had them recorded on a cassette tape. I don't even know where that tape is anymore. But you just, even on my phone, as soon as an idea comes in your head, then I record it and I go back to it when I forget about it.
Did you do all them exams and things, Royal College of Music and things? I did. I think I did up to grade 3 as well too.
Yeah, up to grade 3, and then I taught myself. Yeah.
That's enough.
Got me started.
Very boring. Oh, do you remember doing them scales? Oh,
horrible.
It was awful. Is a piano the only instrument you play?
Yeah.
You don't need to play any other, actually. So are all your songs accompanied by the piano?
Yeah, I wrote them all initially with piano music.
Right.
So I'd come up with the idea at home, and then I'd go into the studio and I'd play the song and sing it to the producer and say, well, this is the base of it, and then he built on that with the rest of the production.
Oh, very good. Well, yes, I know there's a lot of studio work goes in and can make things sound absolutely phenomenal, because you're actually doing your own backing on some of your songs as well, aren't you?
Yeah, it's all me. Yeah.
Yes, I know. I was paying attention. I was very lucky. You sent me all your the music off from your album, and I listened to quite a lot of it. Some of them, and I thought, oh, I could really. That's lovely. Like you call it piano pop, wouldn't you?
I guess so, yeah. It's hard to pin it down, really, I'd say.
It is, isn't it? Right, because I thought, well, no, it's not folk, and it's not, but because I couldn't work out what genre to put it under either, but it's very easy listening music as well too, though. I thought it was very easy listening. I could sit there with my eyes closed and think, I'm quite happy with that, to just drain in your head.
Thank you.
It was lovely. I really did enjoy it. There's always something you like better, and there's one that sounds almost like a duet starting off.
All right.
I'm not sure which one that is. Maybe it might be the other one we've picked here. You Got Me? No, not quite sure. But I thought, oh, that sounds really good. A great start to the song, and I thought it was really lovely. But I certainly did enjoy listening to it. But it's something that I'm not going to go dancing to it. Or we can maybe do posh dancing to it. Maybe we can do some of this, maybe the old waltz thing.
It's not a dance album, no.
It's not dance either, is it? Can you imagine yourself doing a dance to it? What beat is it on?
I'm not quite sure you could do any dance to it, really. It's not that sort of...
It isn't that. It is. It's listening music, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is listening music. There you go. So an album to play in a car when you're driving along without getting fraught. Something to keep you calm. That's the best place. That's a really good place to have that. I would enjoy that. You could just listen to nice music as you're travelling along, and it'll keep you calm and relaxed. says me, who ends up being a basket case. You've picked out some music as well too, some of the music that you like, and I was just one of them, of course. First one I've got up here, Ed Sheeran.
Yeah.
How does this mean to you? This is Thinking Out Loud.
Yeah, no, this is a very nice song. It just shows you how something so simple doesn't have to have a massive production behind the song in order to sound, really good. So
yes.
I've always loved this song.
So he must be a bit iconic for you as well too, because I'm also a new singer-songwriter.
Yeah, I remember watching an interview, I think it was on Jonathan Ross with him.
Yeah.
And he asked him, he said, what point did it turn around for you? And he said, it's when I stopped caring about what anyone else thinks.
Oh,
when
bless
he does it for
him.
himself.
Yeah.
And I took that advice really in terms of doing my album, because you can't write songs that you think everyone else wants to hear. You have to write songs that you want to write, that you like. And that's when your feelings are going to be coming out more so in the songs that you're writing for yourself. It's going to be truer to you by doing that.
That makes an awful lot of sense, and what a great statement to make as well too. And Jonathan, with his brother Paul Ross here in the studio as well too, he thinks an awful lot of his little brother Jonathan. Let me tell you, but exactly as you said, Thinking Out Loud, Ed Sheeran. It almost makes you now listen to the words more, because we're listening through it through your ears. Because it's one thing hearing a song, but when somebody has a different opinion on why that song matters to them, you sort of listen to it freshly again. I think I now can understand what you're saying, and even more so what he was saying as well too, when he stopped worrying. And isn't this is how we should live our lives? Stop worrying about what other people think. I'm old enough to tell you. Do as I tell you, not as I do. That was a lovely sound of Ed Sheeran, Thinking Out Loud. And he really does pack a punch with his songs, really. You can tell there's a lot of thought has gone into them, as obviously does yours. How long would it take you to write? Is there such a thing as how long it takes to write a song? Is there such a thing?
It depends, really.
Yeah.
The majority of my songs, we produced it in 2 days.
Whoa.
Which I believe is quite quick, really.
Yeah.
On a budget, haven't got a record label, paying for it.
Yes, of course, yes.
Otherwise, it really depends on what level of inspiration you've got at the time. Sometimes, even if I'm struggling to fall asleep, and then I'll just suddenly something will come to me.
You keep the notepad by the bed.
And I write down the lyrics.
It's all on the phone.
And then I record the tune in my phone, so the next morning I'm almost tempted to get up and go and write a song then. But,
many people do that. Many people do that, yes. That's the start, especially the authors. When I've been talking to authors as well too, they'll wake up in the night and words will come to them, and they've got the notepad and pencil by the side of the bed, and they'll write it down there. At least it's out of their head, it's on the paper, and they can go away and they can go back to sleep and then pick it up in the morning. Yeah,
exactly. But otherwise, I could just come up with a piano tune, and then it'll kind of all flow from there. Other times I've been in the studio, and while he's been working on the production side of it, I've been writing the lyrics, so I'm kind of using what he's doing as further inspiration for the lyrics of the song as well.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you, where do you get your inspiration from?
Relationships, a lot about relationships.
Of course, people.
Yeah, exactly, and just issues that I've had to deal with in the past, or just life experience, really. And just taking that and looking on it on a more positive view, really.
Is it because of, very often a lot of people do wonderful things out of something that's been a bad experience, or they've had a bad time, and it's almost a rescue thing. Put it somewhere or justify it or whatever. Do you feel that you've had a bad experience that you were able to turn it into something positive?
Very much so, yeah.
Oh, bless, really. Oh.
But it can relate to anything, even bad relationships.
Of course.
So.
I'm sure we've all had bad relationships. I know I certainly have as well too. And you back now and you think, oh, I'd have felt better if I'd just gone and punched you. But you can't do that because you're a nice person and you don't do that sort of thing.
So rather looking at the hate towards the person, if it ended badly, I've written songs that are kind of,
Do you know what that's what I thought when I was listening to you. It's the pennies dropped, you just saying that. It's a little bit, now I hope it doesn't offend you, a little bit Adele-esque. Because not in the sound, not in the sound, your sound and hers is completely different. But she has done that. She's taken, the hardships in life and turned it into a song. And then she's poured that power into that song as well too. I think that's where maybe the link would be for you, that sort of thing. Do you feel that?
Yeah, I think Taylor Swift is obviously another example. She writes a lot of songs about previous relationships. But I've tried not to write songs that are down and depressing to listen to or anything. It's more of kind of a positive look on that experience. Yeah. So it's,
not the easiest thing always to do, is it?
Now. It took me a while to get there.
Yeah.
But, for example, Not Good Enough on the album was about an ex-boyfriend, but now it's kind of a power song,
Yes, yeah.
That you've overcome it. So yeah.
Yeah, I should have learned that song earlier myself. But it is a fascinating thing. So where do you think, where are you aiming for now? Where's next for you? Because like it's one thing now you've got your album, like anybody else, you've got to be out there then promoting it, haven't you?
Yeah, I'm taking it as it comes, basically. So
are you working as well?
Part-time, yeah. As a waitress, nothing glamorous. But no, I've got a band together, so they're
good girl, well done.
They're going to be rehearsing to go out and gig as much as possible, really.
Yeah.
And get the music out there. So I'm hopefully singing a couple of Christmas live switch-ons this year as well. So.
Oh, that's lovely. Where are you doing that?
Well, local to where I live in Farnham, yeah.
All right, okay. Oh, well, what a shame we didn't have you over here as well, too. We should put your name forward. We'll let them know. It's fabulous singer-songwriter. But obviously, like, the more people that you can appear in front of and get your name out there. If you have a band, is the band still going, are you going to have a name for the band, or is the band name under your own name?
They don't have a name.
Right. There's many singers don't have names for bands.
It probably would just be...
It is just a backing band?
Yeah. It depends on the gig as well. Because sometimes I'll be doing the gig by myself or with a band. It depends on the venue, really.
Yeah, on the size of the stage, I should think.
Yeah.
I've seen some very small stage with an awful lot of musicians piled on there, and they can hardly breathing space. It must be. Is it? Do you have to do all your own work as far as getting your own gigs and things are concerned, or have you got anybody working for you?
No, it's just me. I've done everything myself, really.
Good girl.
From getting the album printed to getting here today to getting the band together, really. So I'm doing it by myself, and it's been a challenge, but it's a good challenge. Yeah. It's quite, even with as far as the album artwork, for example. It takes the saying, if you want something done, do it yourself. Very much applies here, because you wait so long on everyone else, and in the end, I was just like, I've done it myself now. And it's quite nice because I can look at it and it's my own work completely. So the music is my own work and the artwork and everything is my own work, and now it's for sale. So it's quite exciting to see that.
That is absolutely amazing. That's brilliant. Well done, you. You're really quite inspirational.
Thank you.
Well, for anybody else that's interested in doing that, I know, like, if you get, one of the things you can get in these red letter days, you can go and record a song if something you want to do, maybe just a friend of mine did it, and he did a song for his mum, went into the studio, and I think he recorded about 3 songs, so you can get your own CD. But you'd never in a million years think that this is something that you're going to publish and do something with. Like, you're right back from the very basics to the end product.
Yeah, it's been a big learning curve for me, because I'm learning as I go along as well.
For sure. So but not very long. You haven't been at it for that long.
I finished the album earlier this year.
Yeah.
And after that, it was a case of getting the CD duplicated and the artwork done, obviously. And then it's a case of learning about having it on the right places, loading it up through the right company, learning about how the royalties are split and the right codes you need. And it's complicated, and it's taken me a while to get a hang of. But again, it's been exciting.
Well, I've got nothing but admiration for you.
Thank you.
Well done, you. I've got a Leona Lewis song here, which is another one that you've picked, because you're... and you also mentioned... who was it you mentioned? I'm reading all of them. Who was the song you mentioned? Oh, no, I've gone too far. Oh, I've forgotten. We're Never Getting Back. Who sang that one? Oh, Taylor Swift. That was it. I knew you'd said somebody else. I wasn't going to let it go. So, Leona Lewis, Taylor Swift, two ladies that you've named songs here for. What's your thing with them? Do you admire them as singers?
Very much so. There's not many albums out there that I physically buy the album.
Yeah.
Or can listen to a whole album by that person. And Leona Lewis and Taylor Swift are those two people that I love the whole album.
Because you're quite right. There's so many songs. That's why I love a lot of these. The Now 95 or whatever number it happens to be, because it's always like it's just the one song from a varying artists that have done maybe particularly well. And there's a few in there that you've never heard of as well too. Whenever you get them, but a whole album is a big challenge. To do an album like that, in your own included, do you need to find different sounding music so it doesn't all sound same-o?
Yes, actually. There is a risk of the music sounding too similar. The producer I worked with said that if you're doing an album, it's better if you work with the same person.
Right.
Because you don't want to have too many different sounds on your album, because then it doesn't sound...
Because it's confusing
like
then.
You've found your place
in
the music industry. So, but at the same time, you can't have all your songs sounding the same.
Yeah.
So you do very much take inspiration from different songs, different artists, but overall, because you've got that same producer with the same sound in his head, that they all link together nicely at the end.
It sounds like you've got a really pretty good producer.
He's very good. Yes, I was very lucky to find him.
Because did you have to travel for this? Where do you do this?
That was in Guildford.
Oh, right. Okay, so not too far.
No, it wasn't too far for me.
He does sound like he really knows his stuff, doesn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, we'll take a music interlude with Taylor Swift, and this one is "We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together." This sounds like another boyfriend one, doesn't it? She sort of means that song, doesn't she?
Yeah.
she thumps that one up together again. Leona Lewis as well too. She's disappeared off our screens for a little while, hasn't she? I heard she's just coming back again.
Yes, she is. I believe she hasn't been on tour for 3 years, and now she's going on tour again with a new album.
So is all that 3 years been doing an album, do you think?
From what I know, she's not working with Simon Cowell anymore, I don't think. So
Wise
she's
girl.
working with someone else and doing more her own music now, I think, which is good. I'm excited. I've got tickets to see her in March for the first time, so
that's lovely. It must be whenever you. I'm not going to say you model yourself off, because you young lady are a bit of a model all of your own. You've got the whole package there. So I think anybody that come behind you is going to have to model themselves off you. Well, you've got great confidence in what you've done. Where do you get this confidence from? It's obviously a self-belief, because you've got to have that.
Yeah, I guess if you're going to release an album of your own music, you have to believe in it. Otherwise, no one else will.
Yeah, but is mummy or daddy's influence in there as well too? Have you inherited this?
Yeah, I come from a very musical family.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You can always tell. So, and they give you all the support as well too? They must be very proud of you.
Yeah, very, very supportive. I'm very grateful.
Oh, that's lovely. It's lovely because I think you can always tell that there's somebody, something special in there. There's somebody special that you're connected with, that can keep you going. Because you must have bad times. You just don't look as if you've got a bad time in your head. Like you talk about it, but it doesn't look as if you do have.
Well, I guess everyone goes through bad times. It's just a case of how you deal with it, and I channel mine through my music. So.
Yeah, you've just got a lot more sense than most people, I think, that I've met, including me. We were talking about Leona Lewis then. Well, let's have a listen to Leona's This Is Hurt, and compare her music then to Taylor Swift's that we can talk about. Such a different sound from Taylor Smith, isn't she? Actually, and that's a very different sound even for Leona Lewis. I like it.
It was quite different, yeah.
Because like she was doing all them sort of, we've seen her before, squirming down the walls, going, that. Yeah, Mary's taking the Michael, but there was no, it was all noises rather than sort of actually singing a song. That's a real sort of, it's a lovely earthy sound, that one.
Yeah, I love all her albums.
She's somebody that could make very different sounds with all of her albums. They're different songs that she's got. It's lovely. Nice, good luck to her coming back again. So it'll be nice to see her back around again. I'm sure she'll be on our telly very soon. It won't be long. Now, you were saying that you went to a boot camp. Like we see this now because like our knowledge now is sort of because of reality TV programs. Dear forgive us for watching the blooming things, but we now know sort of what some artists go through, and you can see some of them have a pretty horrific time, trying to always be that's something awfully special for these, particularly for these merciless judges, etc. But they have a boot camp, and you said you went to one.
When I was 17, I joined this boot camp as such called Songbirds,
right?
Which was the first time I performed live. In front of an audience, and it was a 10-week boot camp, and there was 12 of us, and there was a vocal coach as well who very much practiced tough love when it comes to advising and getting you out of yourself and building your confidence. I did that for a few years, and the likes of Stephen Ritchie from X Factor has come.
Yes.
I met him through there, and Leanne from Little Mix as well. She also did.
I love Little Mix.
Yeah,
I like their latest
music,
one. Yeah, I like that latest one of theirs.
So I was with them for a few years, really, and that's initially how I started out performing, and it helped a lot. With,
but they're doing the same thing, so that's got to be quite inspirational because you've actually seen them, people going to the like of X Factor and making a career of themselves. But it's not an easy road, is it?
It's not easy at all, no.
Like you wouldn't want to follow them. Would you want to follow them footsteps?
Well, through the X Factor.
Yeah. Do you ever see yourself going to X Factor?
I did it to start with. I remember the first time I auditioned, I had it in my head, thinking, I want to get in front of Simon Cowell, and if Simon Cowell says you're good, then you're good. But now it's a case of, that's not the only way to get into the business, which is why I'm taking it my own way now.
Good for you, but you did have a go at it. I had a friend of mine who went to X Factor as well too. She
really?
she got there twice to later stages, but it's like when you see thousands turn up to these auditions, like it's got to be off-putting.
It's a very long process, and there's a lot of waiting around, and there's just so many levels you have to even go through before you get to the judges. It's very much an entertainment program rather than a singing program, I would say.
I know, I've heard so many people saying that as well too, and then they'll pick people out just for entertainment value, and that's what's almost wrong about the program, because you'd like to think that there was a big dollop of sincerity in there. And I think the only sincere thing is that they actually do get the right winner at the end, or somebody that is commercial, sellable, because I think all of them have been. I think they've all done really quite well, haven't they? If they're not sort of on TV, they're actually now on stage, but they're living the dream. They're living the song. Is this how you see your life going forward? Is you're going to be entertaining forever and ever and ever?
I certainly hope so. That's what I'm aiming for. Yeah.
Oh, good girl, you. Do you ever think of going to the cruise ships and things like? Because there's amazing entertainment in them. Because everybody that listens to this program knows I'm a cruise fan.
I did think of it at one point. But like I said, I'm just taking each and every opportunity as it comes up. So
sure.
Just see where it gets me, really.
So what's the next step? What are you targeting now? Well, you've got Christmas to get over.
I got to get through Christmas. Yeah, it's a case of getting on, radio play.
Yeah.
As much as possible, and getting gigs, and finding out, contacts in the right places. I think that's very much a big part of it as well.
So who can help? Who can help? Because like we've got lovely listeners around, and there's a lot of people there. Maybe you as a listener, maybe this isn't your thing, but maybe you know someone, and the best thing I think you can ever do in this world or in this life is help somebody else. It's seriously, not only do you get the satisfaction out of seeing somebody achieve wonderful things, but to actually have been involved in that person sort of getting to their goal. I don't think that there can possibly be anything that you can do better in life than to help somebody else. I really do. I really believe that, because I've seen so many wonderful business women coming through and achieving great business, and I'm so proud of them. And you know, you can feel their success in you. But if you've been involved in somebody and you give them that step forward to the next thing, and if somebody's listening there that could help you, who would you be looking for that could help you to where you want to next go to? What's the next thing for you? Because you've got your album. Obviously, you're getting it playing. Well, that's just laborious plugging it out there, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess management or a record label obviously would be a great
Yes.
step for me, if possible, you know. But unfortunately, not everybody thinks like that in terms of helping. What I have found is that anyone who has done well so far, now because they're successful, they don't necessarily want to help everyone else.
Oh, listen, that's an industry as well too, and how, you know, that's one of the worst things. But I was talking to quite a famous, very famous actually, television presenter, radio presenter now, and this lady said to me, you know, in this business you learn very quickly to be very nice to the people as you're going up the ladder, because the chances are you'll meet them on the way back down. And I thought it was a very profound thing to say, and I thought, yes, because it's a bit of a fickle world. It is a very fickle world, and you're famous for 5 minutes. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But while you've got that, you know, it's really worth. You know, it's like it's just really nice to everybody, because they're the ones that look after you whenever you're coming back down again and keep you in somewhere else at another level. So
yeah.
I wish you, but we're going to play another one of your songs, because I don't want us to run out of time and not play it. There's 8 minutes left of the programme, 8.5 minutes. This is a 3-minute song. Now this is another one, You've Got Me.
Yeah.
You like this one? Is this a favourite one?
This is one of my favourite ones. I think this is one of my best vocals.
Oh, lovely.
I was very happy with this song when I finished it. I don't know, just it's something special for me, I think. It's I'm very proud of it.
Oh, lovely. Well, I'm certainly going to enjoy listening to it.
Every day
Oh, that is lovely. That was a right little lilt at the end of the nose. It was a bit Celtic there. I was a little bit Celtic. That was lovely. Lovely
Thank
sound.
you.
I'm not surprised you like that one. That's a very strong song.
Yes, thank you very much.
I did enjoy listening to that one. I think that's probably one of the... There was another one. I'm going to have to fish through them now and find out which is the other one that I really liked as well too. But, as you are a new artist, it must be such a hard thing, though, to get yourself on this, as a new artist out there for people to listen to, because everybody's sort of like, people that we've got in our playlist here, they've been around for years. Yonks. Resurrecting some of them every now and again. But to be a new artist, there must be a great stage out there for you, because there's a lot of people out there looking for new artists all the time.
I guess, but there's also a lot of artists that are wanting to be playing as well, so you have got to compete with, so many people that are also doing the same thing.
Yes, of course. Well, you've made a good start, and it's been a pleasure for us to have you here at Marlow FM.
Thank you for having me.
And to hear your music and to know we're part of you on the start of your ladder. Remember us whenever you get really famous.
Of course.
Now, if people want to find out or listen to more of your music or read up about you, have you got a website about what we can find out about you?
Yes, I'm on Facebook, of course. You can find me under Lucina Official, and that goes as well for Twitter and Instagram. And then my album is for sale on iTunes and on Amazon.
Good girl. And what the album's called? Just Lucina?
The album is called Let It Out.
Out. Let it out. Let it out, Lucina. Lucina. And there's a lovely photograph of you here. Is this your photographer friend that took that picture?
Yes.
Good. She did a good job.
I was very lucky to find her, yeah.
Yeah, she did a good job. This was a girl that she was just a waitress, yeah?
Yeah, I worked with her.
Oh, bless her. You see, you don't have to have big labels. There's a lot of talent around everywhere. Right next to you as well too, always. So if you're connected to anybody in the music industry, do drop us a line here at studio@marlowfm.co.uk. Send it for my attention to Mary, and if there's anybody that we can forward this young lady's music to, and to see if we can help her on the next part of her journey, wouldn't that be just an amazing thing to be able to do? So, and do you have a website? You're going to have to build one now, aren't you?
That's in process, yeah.
Oh, I know. We have to have websites. Everybody's looking for things. But Facebook, it's Lucina Official.
Yes.
OFFICIAL.
Yes.
Like, look at me looking as if I can spell. But Lucina Official. Well, that's what I look out for you on there as well too. And you can, but your music's on Amazon and iTunes.
And iTunes, yes.
Well done. Well, all I can say to you, all the very best luck with the future. I'm sure it isn't the last we've heard of you.
Thank you very much.
We'll see where we can get you. Now, do stay with me. Thank you, Lucina, very much indeed for coming in to see us. And do stay with me, because we're coming up towards the 11 o'clock news now. And gosh, doesn't that time go this quick? Time flies when you're enjoying yourself, as they say. And I've got my guests already in the studio. He'll be on here after the news. And artist of amazing talent as well too, because I've already seen some of his work. I'll be giving you his website out, so check his work out as well too. And it's Chris Flavelle, and he's got a story and a half to share with us all, so we'll be looking forward to that. And after my programme today we have the Eclectic Light Show, and I'm sure the lovely Michael Eagleton will be in, and along with the rest of our programmes today, the Eclectic Light Show, Biz Buzz in the afternoon with Carla Delaney, then Drive Time is on at 5 o'clock, and back to the 80s programme tonight from 7 o'clock. So as it's DeLorean Day, they're going to have great fun with their Back to the 80s music tonight, because obviously Back to the Future's themed everywhere at the moment. So I'll see you soon, and